Hey YouTubers, so welcome to the special video. Yes, welcome to the special video. This is going to be the special ass video like the big ass cigar. So welcome to 16 years since I started smoking or using tobacco products. Yes, welcome to the video, So anyway, I have the word template right here. Now, for people who have watched my videos for a very long time, you know how this shit works. You know how this shit works. I read off a word template. If I'm not giving eye contact, that's the reason why. Don't interpret me not giving eye contact as me being an asshole, because, I mean, I'm not just giving eye contact because I'm looking down the template. Oftentimes people will interpret not giving eye contact as being rude, but don't interpret that shit. So, anyway, so I turned on the camera, or the phone, I introduced myself, said hi, I explained how this video is going to work in regards to the word document, in regards to me not giving eye contact, because oftentimes people will interpret not giving eye contact as being rude. So, anyway, so I explained how this video is going to work in terms of the word template. I want to discuss right now, so obviously you might say, why the hell are you making this video? Why the fuck are you making this video? Today is my 34th birthday. I am 34 years old today. Yes, I'm 34 years old today. And today is also the anniversary of me starting pipe and cigar smoking or using tobacco products. So today marks 16 years, yes, 16 years, not 60 years, 16 years since I started smoking using tobacco products. So yes, today is the anniversary. It's also my birthday today. Like I said, it's my 34th birthday today. Anyway, I want to discuss right now, after I burp, excuse me, I had to burp. I just had lunch. I just had 2 liverwurst sandwiches for lunch, so I might have some air in my stomach, so I might have to burp. So anyway, I want to discuss right now, back to the video topic, what I have smoked or used in the last 16 years for tobacco products. So in the last 16 years for tobacco products, I have smoked or used cigarettes, cigarillos, tobacco blunts, cigars, little cigars, pipes, hookah, nasal snuff, and e-cigarettes. Now you might say, holy shit, that's a lot of tobacco products, you know, cigarettes, cigarillos or cigarillos, tobacco blunts, cigars, little cigars, pipes, hookah, nasal snuff, and e-cigarettes. That's a shitload of stuff. I want to explain right now, I don't chain smoke, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. So, cigarettes, I quit them years ago. So I am not a cigarette smoker. For people who are saying, oh, cigarettes fucking stink, they're nasty, I quit cigarettes years ago. So I was never a big-time cigarette smoker. It was a stupid thing I did when I was 18 years old. You do a lot of stupid shit when you're 18 years old. I tried smoking cigarettes for like 6 months when I was 18 years old, and I quit. I haven't touched a cigarette for well over a decade. So I haven't touched a cigarette for well over a decade. I have been completely cigarette-free for well over a decade. Also, I don't chain smoke. By that I mean, even though I have tried a lot of tobacco products like cigarettes, cigars, pipes, hookah, nasal snuff, e-cigarettes, I don't chain smoke. Meaning I don't sit there with a pipe in my mouth or a cigar in my mouth all day long and chain smoke. So even though I have tried a lot of tobacco products, I don't chain use or chain smoke. So I'm not like a chain smoker who's sitting there going, you know, all day long. Explain why and how I don't chain smoke. So by that I mean I typically smoke 3 times a day, occasionally 4, and basically, not whore, 4, yeah, 4, not whore, whether the hell. Basically, I typically smoke 3 or 4 times a day. I don't chain smoke. Chain smoking is smoking, you know, 3, 4 packs a day. That's chain smoking. So I quit cigarettes regularly almost 15 and a half years ago. So almost 15 and a half years ago, I quit smoking cigarettes. So I have been completely cigarette free since June of 2013. So I have been completely cigarette free. So you might say, "Oh, you're a cigarette smoker. You're a fucking cigarette smoker. You smell like ashtray." I have been completely cigarette free for going on 12 years. So completely cigarette free. Next off, explain when and why I quit smoking cigarettes. So I quit smoking cigarettes regularly in November 2009, and I quit smoking them altogether in May of 2010 with a few exceptions. So I stopped smoking them on a daily basis back in November 2009, and then I quit smoking them altogether in May of 2010, with a few exceptions here and there. So, and when I say I was a cigarette smoker, I was not a big time cigarette smoker. You might think, oh, holy shit, he's a big time cigarette smoker, smoking 2-3 packs a day. I was somebody who would go through about a pack every 2 weeks, about 2 packs a month, and I would sit on my parents' deck. Yes, I was 18 years old back then, and I would just puff cigarette. So I wouldn't even inhale the cigarette. I wouldn't even inhale the damn cigarette. I would just puff the cigarette like a cigar, and I would just, sit on my parents' deck and puff 1 or 2 cigarettes. And then I cut down to 1 cigarette, and I just got bored of them. The reason I got bored of them is because it was getting cold outside back in November 2009, and the smell of cigarettes is really nasty. It's really fucking nasty, and I didn't want to stand in the garage and smoke cigarettes. So I haven't touched a cigarette for a long time. I mean, cigarettes are by far the worst tobacco products, so I haven't touched a cigarette for a long time. So when was the last time I had a cigarette? June of 2013. June of 2013 was the last time I had a cigarette. That was the last time I had a cigarette. I had a Marlboro Light or Marlboro Gold. Excuse me, I burped. Yep, I had a Marlboro Light or Marlboro Gold in June of 2013. That was the last time I had a cigarette. What I have never used for tobacco products or nicotine products. So I have never used chewing tobacco. I have never used dipping tobacco. I have never used snus or snus, American or Swedish. I've never used dissolvable tobacco products or patches or gum or any kind of quit smoking aids. So never used chewing tobacco, chaw, plug, like chaw or chewing tobacco. Never used dipping tobacco or moist snuff like Copenhagen, Skoal, Redman, Grizzly, Levi Garrett. Never used snus or snus. Never used American or Swedish snus or snus. Never used dissolvable tobacco products. Never used the patch, the gum, any kind of quit smoking aids. I will get into health effects a little bit later, but I have never tried to quit smoking. So I've never used the patch, never used the gum, never used the lozenge, never used any kind of inhaler or quit smoking aids. My favorite type of tobacco products right now are the tobacco pipe and cigars. So the tobacco pipe and cigars are my favorite tobacco products right now. Now, even though I've tried a shitload of tobacco products, the only tobacco products I use right now are the tobacco pipe, not a marijuana pipe, not a crack pipe, not an opium pipe, the tobacco pipe and the cigars, the big ass cigars. And when I say cigars, I mean actual handmade cigars. And don't be a smartass, it doesn't actually mean I make my own cigars. So I'm talking like Padron, Fuente, Ashton, La Gloria Cubana, Partagas. That's what I'm talking about when I say premium hand-rolled cigars, not like the crap you get at the gas station like Black & Milds or like, Swisher Sweets or Garcia Game or Phillies Blunts. And when I say tobacco pipe, I'm not talking about rolling my own tobacco and cigarettes. I'm talking about a actual corncob, clay, meerschaum, briar pipe. So, favorite type of pipes right now, briar pipes and corncob pipes. I occasionally smoke briar pipes. My favorite corncob pipe did recently break. It broke yesterday, so I might have to get a new corncob or get a new pipe in general. Excuse me, I burped. So, anyway, those are my favorite types of pipes. Favorite types of cigars right now are the Churchill, Toro, Robusto, anything with a small ring gauge. aside from Lancero's very small ring gauge. So I'm not a big fan of those donkey dick, donkey cock size cigars, those giant, 7 by 80 or like 8 by 80 cigars, like donkey dick cigars. They're like giant, fat schlong cigars. I like Churchills. I like anything with a small ring gauge. However, I don't like Lanceros because they tend to have a tight draw. It's like sucking an ice cube through a straw. So, anyway, what I've tried for pipe tobacco, aromatic, English, Balkan, Virginia, Vapor, Burley, English aromatics, etc., etc., etc. So I've tried a lot of different types of pipe tobacco. I've tried aromatic, English, Balkan, Virginia, not vagina, Vapor, Burley, English aromatics, many, 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 many different types of pipe tobacco. I want to make a point. I have tried a hell of a lot of types of pipe tobacco. I have tried pretty much all the types of pipe tobacco there is. There's really no type of pipe tobacco I haven't tried. Unfortunately, as of 2019 or 2020, there is a flavored tobacco ban in Massachusetts, so I can't get really hardly any aromatic pipe tobacco. So that really sucks in general. But aside from that, I can get anything non-aromatic or anything that's approved. So how many pipe tobaccos have I tried roughly? I have tried roughly around 350 pipe tobaccos, somewhere between 350 and 355 pipe tobaccos. Anyway, that's pipe tobacco for a pipe, for the dickhead trolls who are wondering, the douchebag trolls who are wondering, nothing else. First page is done. Okay, my favorite type of pipe tobacco as of now is Captain Black. So Captain Black White is my favorite pipe tobacco right now, and that is legal to sell in Massachusetts. So Captain Black White is by far my favorite pipe tobacco. It's very smooth, very mild, and very nice. Some people say it's very bitey. I don't find it to be bitey at all. What I've tried for cigars, Maduro, Natural, Escoro, Connecticut. I've tried many different types of cigars. I've never really tried barber pole cigars, but I have tried all the major types: Connecticut, Maduro, Natural, Escoro, etc., etc., etc. Now I want to discuss. I've tried a lot of cigars. So I've tried a shitload of cigars, a lot of cigars in general. I have not tried as much as some people. Some people have tried literally thousands of cigars. I have tried a lot of cigars. How many different types of cigars have I tried roughly? I have tried probably at least a few hundred cigars. I know some people, like some cigar reviewers, have tried thousands and thousands. I have probably tried at least a couple hundred. So, what I have noticed health-wise. So, now we're moving on to the health-related topics, because obviously smoking is bad for you. So, the health-related topic. So, dry mouth, dry gums, dry throat, waking up with a slightly scratchy throat, getting small sores in the corners of my mouth, occasionally due to holding a pipe a certain way, and coughing in the morning. So the health effects that I notice after 16 years of pipe and cigar smoking include dry mouth, dry gums. I would say that probably the two biggest things are dry gums and the morning cough. The dry gums and the morning cough. Those are probably the two biggest things I notice. Is that my mouth is definitely more dry, and I would say it's a little bit more sensitive to hot and cold foods. Not spicy foods, but hot and cold foods in general. And there definitely has been some gum recession in my corners, so that could be pipe smoking related or cigar smoking related. I'm not sure. So yeah, there's been some gum recession, and also in addition to that, I definitely get a morning cough. So Am I surprised I've noticed so little after 16 years? Not really, because in general, it takes many, many, many years for you to develop, serious health problems. Cancer, fucking cancer, it generally takes 20 plus years. In terms of serious health problems, I am a little bit surprised that I haven't noticed any detrimental health problems, but not really, because generally, like I said, 20 plus years, 20, 30, 40 years. That's generally how long it takes for you to develop, detrimental health problems. Yes, you will always hear some poor slob who gets cancer after 5 years, but generally that stuff takes 20, 30, 40, 50 years. I want to talk about how 16 years is a big deal. So 16 years is a big deal because there are some people there are some people who have gotten cancer after 12 or 13 years. There are some people with tobacco who have gotten cancer and have even died after, 10, 5, 10, 6, 12 years. So I've already, surpassed some people. I want to talk about the morning cough right now, the morning cough. So the morning cough is probably my biggest health problem, and that's from probably smoking on a regular basis. And I wake up in the morning and I cough. I definitely get a morning cough. Excuse me, I burped. So I wake up, and for the first hour or so, I definitely get a cough. I definitely get some congestion, some mucus, some phlegm, and I also get a cough. After about an hour or so, it's gone like it never happened. It happens pretty much every morning. Some tightness in my chest, some irritation in my sinuses, and some mucus and phlegm production. So it is a health problem that I do have now that I am a smoker, is I have a morning cough. And I've had a morning cough now probably since about 2016. Since about 2016, 2015, I've had a morning cough. So for about 10 years now, I've had a morning cough. What I do to reduce my health risks: moderation, not inhaling, smoking in a ventilated space, not smoking cigarettes anymore, rinsing my mouth out with water after I smoke, good oral hygiene, having my dentist check my mouth for oral cancer, etc. So, things I do to reduce my health risks include moderation, keeping it to 3 or 4 smokes a day, not inhaling, because pipe and cigar smoke is not meant to be inhaled, smoking in a ventilated space, meaning trying to avoid my own secondhand smoke, not smoking cigarettes anymore because they're fucking nasty, rinsing my mouth out with water, iced tea after I smoke, basically drinking something after I smoke, drinking something after I smoke to get the taste out of my mouth and also to refresh my mouth, good oral hygiene, brushing my teeth, every single day and flossing every single day, and having my dentist check me for oral cancer. So every time I go to the dentist, they take a napkin, they put it around your tongue, they look at all sides, they check the floor of your mouth, the roof of your mouth, they check your cheeks, your gums, and basically they look for any suspicious lesions. So, so that's the thing. Next off, I don't inhale cigars and pipes, and cigars and pipes are not meant to be inhaled. So, despite what the tobacco smoke inhaling zealots say, cigars and pipes are not meant to be inhaled. You will cough your fucking brains out if you inhale cigars and pipes. They are not meant to be inhaled. You are not supposed to inhale cigars and pipes, and I never inhale. What my doctors and dentists say about my smoking: your gums look a little puffy and you have great lungs. So my dentist has said, yeah, you definitely have some gum recession and your gums look a little puffy. My doctor has said, your lungs sound very clear. What my dentist has said about my oral health and teeth and gums as of February 2025. So my dentist has said that there's been gum recession, but that also could be because I brush pretty hard. I brush pretty hard, and I really, really brush my teeth pretty hard. So I'm not sure if the gum recession is tobacco related. It could be tobacco related. It could be a combination of the both, but I'm not sure. Excuse me, I burped. So I'm not exactly sure if the gum recession is entirely tobacco related. It could be. So, yeah. So they said your gums do look a little irritated. So my old dentist I used to see said, yeah, your gums look a little irritated. There looks like there's a little irritation in your gums, and you do have some gum recession. What my doctor has said about my overall health, you should quit smoking. That's his professional medical obligation, his legal obligation. He has to say, you really should quit smoking. Then my old doctor has said you should see a dentist regularly because you smoke a pipe. Because the pipe is rubbing against your lip, you should really see a dentist, especially because you smoke a pipe, because it's irritating your lip, and that can be a potential risk factor for lip cancer. So, he said, your lungs sound great. So far, when they listen to my lungs sound great. Biggest thing I can attribute to pipe and cigar smoking in terms of health: dry mouth, dry gums, dry throat, morning cough. So I would say probably the morning cough is probably the biggest thing I can attribute to pipe and cigar smoking. Also, the dry mouth, the dry gums, the gum recession, etc. What I notice in my daily life for health, my throat is a little bit more dry and sensitive. My mouth is more sensitive to hot and cold foods. My lips are more sensitive to cold weather. I notice I get a cough in the morning. So I would say my throat is a little bit more sensitive. I do get a little bit more of a scratchy throat. I have to clear my throat more often. My mouth is a little bit more sensitive to hot and cold foods. Again, not spicy foods. My lips are a little more sensitive, a little more chapped during the cold weather. And I notice I get a cough in the morning. The morning cough is probably the most severe health problem I have right now. What health problems I have? Sorry, I had to crack my knuckles. What health problems I don't have? I don't have shortness of breath. I don't have wheezing. I don't have regular chest infections and colds. I don't have yellow teeth. I don't have stained fingernails. I don't have, my taste and smell hasn't been altered. So, despite having a morning cough, and despite having some irritation to my gums and gum recession, I'm not going wheezing and having shortness of breath. I'm not having regular chest infections. I don't have yellow teeth. I don't have yellow stained fingernails. Obviously, cut your fucking fingernails. My taste and smell hasn't been altered. I can still taste things perfectly fine. I can smell things perfectly fine. Next page. So I want to make a point of saying that I've noticed little health-wise from pipe and cigar smoking. So aside from the morning cough, which is probably the biggest thing I can attribute to, I have noticed pretty little health-wise, because some people are really struggling. Some people are really wheezing all day long and choking all day long, and really a lot of COPD. I have noticed pretty little health-wise. So next thing I want to talk about is my thoughts on different types of pipes. So we're done with health. My thoughts on different types of pipes as of April 3rd, 2025. So non-briar and corncob pipes. So I actually am smoking a clay pipe right now. And the clay pipe, it's okay. The bowl gets kind of hot. I haven't smoked a meerschaum pipe for a long time, and I haven't smoked a pearwood pipe for a long time either. I'm not sure. I really prefer the corncobs and the briar pipes. My thoughts on nasal snuff currently, as of today. Nasal snuff, it's not for me. Sorry, Clay Hunter. It's not for me. irritates the shit out of my nose. It really, really irritates the hell out of my nose. It makes me sneeze. It gives me snuff boogers. It's really nasty. It's really fucking nasty. I'm sorry, Clay Hunter. I used to be a snuff user. Now I'm not a snuff user anymore. Sorry. My views on gas station cigars currently, gas station cigars, they're really crap. They're really crap. They're really intended to roll weed. They're really intended for weed or hash. They're not intended for tobacco, and they're really crappy. They bubble tar in your mouth. They're terrible construction, black and mild. That's why I'm not going to do summer cigars. Summer cigars is I don't want to waste money of my own. It's like they're just nasty. It's like summer. The gas station cigars. They're nasty, black and milds. Swisher Sweets. Garcia Game, Phillies Blunts, White Owl. They're just nasty in general. They're not intended for tobacco use. Next thing, what will I try in the next 6 months to a year for from April 3rd, 2025 to April 3rd, 2026 for pipes and pipe tobacco? Probably I'm going to try some new pipe tobacco. I actually have gotten back into trying new pipe tobacco and doing pipe tobacco reviews. For a while, I was just smoking Sutliff Heavy English. For years and years, I was just smoking Sutliff Heavy English. But now I'm trying new pipe tobacco. I've tried some classic American blends. I've also tried some house blends. I've tried some tin tobacco. So you can probably expect, when I go to my tobacconist next, that I will be picking up some new tobacco. You probably can expect that. What will I try in the next 6 months to a year for cigars and cigar-related items? Probably the same shit. Same shit. Same stuff. Cigars, no interest in really expanding my cigar horizon. Probably Padrones like usual. Excuse me, I burped. My views on hookah currently. Hookah, it's not for me. First off, I can't even smoke it anymore because hookah tobacco is illegal in Massachusetts. You can only smoke on the premise of a smoking bar, so I can't even buy it anymore. So, that's the first problem. Second problem, I threw away both my hookahs. They were getting old and nasty. We were cleaning out my room. I threw them out. So hookah tobacco, the last time I smoked it back in April 2012, it's nasty. It burns the hell out of my throat. It's sicky, sicky sweet. It's so sweet. It's like candy gas. So it's not for me. It's for people who don't like the taste of tobacco. If you like the taste of tobacco, even aromatic tobacco, it's not for you. Hookah tobacco, it is like fucking candy gas. Like candy gas. No interest whatsoever. If I ever go to a hookah bar, I probably will smoke it on the premise of a hookah bar in Massachusetts. Enjoy, hookah on a hookah bar with a drink, like a cocktail, whatever. So, but no interest, and I can't even buy it anymore. They don't really sell hookahs anymore. So, because we have a flavored tobacco ban in Massachusetts. Why I no longer use certain tobacco products, for example, the hookah, cigarettes, nasal snuff, and e-cigarettes. So the hookah, because it's sicky, sicky sweet, and also because you can't buy it anymore in Massachusetts, aside from a smoking bar. Cigarettes, they're fucking nasty. They're disgusting. They're horrible. They're terrible for you. They're expensive. No interest. Nasal snuff, it's nasty. You can't buy it around here. And also irritates the hell out of my nose. Makes me sneeze, give me snuff boogers, nasty. E-cigarettes, I have no interest in vaping. I've tried vaping a couple times. I have no interest in vaping. No interest in vaping in general. So, thank you everybody on YouTube who subscribed to me since day one. Ozone Layer Hates Me, Rain Dog, King Siggy, Smoking Mafia, White Cigarette Confederate, Magnitude Something, and Magnitude 34, and many, 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 many more. So, Thank you everybody on YouTube who supported me. Big Ass Cigar for Life, Big Ass Pipe for Life. Thank you everybody. Do I regret becoming a pipe and cigar smoker or using tobacco products as of April 3rd, 2025? Nope, not at all. I think the enjoyment I get out of smoking cigars and pipes is worth it to me. I think the enjoyment I get from, enjoying a pipe, enjoying a cigar is worth the risk to me. Other hobbies other than smoking tobacco use, I enjoy social media. So I'm on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So I enjoy social media. I enjoy using the computer. What I am smoking currently for pipe tobacco and cigars. So for pipe tobacco and cigars, I'm currently smoking Padron cigars, generally Padron cigars. And I'm currently smoking Captain Black pipe tobacco, Captain Black white pipe tobacco. Sorry, computer's just going to power saver. Sorry. Anyway, so yeah, Captain Black white pipe tobacco and Padron cigars. Why I don't worry about being a pipe and cigar smoker in terms of health and well-being. You don't hear many horror stories about pipe and cigar smoking, unlike cigarette smoking. It's just too enjoyable to give up. I have made peace with my choice to smoke pipes and cigars. It's just like telling my cat she can't go outside, despite what happened to my other cat. Excuse me. I burped. So, anyway, so, the reason why I don't worry about being a pipe and cigar smoker in terms of health, you don't hear the horror stories. You don't hear people getting cancer after 1 or 2 years, or 5 years or 10 years, unlike cigarettes. It's just too enjoyable to give up. It's just too enjoyable. I enjoy too much to give it up. I've made peace with the decision. I made peace with my choice to smoke pipes and cigars. And also, there's a good analogy. We had a cat, a pussycat, who got taken by a coyote back in 2014, and now we can't tell the cat's sister. We have the cat's sister right now. We can't tell her she can't go outside because she's been an outdoor cat her entire life. She's been an indoor-outdoor cat her entire life. So it's like you can't tell the cat, the pussycat, she can't go outside anymore just because of what happened to her brother. So I have a certain number of pipes working right now. I'm not sure how many pipes I have. I haven't counted for a while. Some of my pipes are in my apartment, and other of my pipes are in my parents' house. So I'm not sure how many pipes I have right now exactly. I haven't counted for a while. I threw out a bunch of my pipes a while back, a couple years back. I threw out my pipes, a few of my pipes, because they were getting really old and really nasty. So I'm not sure exactly how many pipes I have right now. How much do I smoke a day currently? 3 to 4 times a day. Generally, in my parents' house, 4 times a day, not 4 times a day. 4 times a day. At my apartment, 3 times a day. 3 to 4 times a day on average. I'd say 3 to 4 times a day on average. What is the most I've ever smoked in my life is 5 times a day. So, yes, back in 2013, there were 2 days I smoked 5 times in a day. But that's the most I've ever smoked. I've never smoked more than 5 times in a day. So, why I keep pipe and cigar smoking to moderation? The fun, the novelty, and also the health reasons. I don't want to have, fucking cancer by the time I'm 40 years old. It's like, I don't want to be going through cancer treatment when I'm 40 years old or 35 years old. So I keep it to moderation. A couple times a day, a few times a day, but I don't overdo it. I'm not somebody who's a chain smoker. Anyway, that's the conclusion of the video. Thank you for watching the video. That's the end of the video. Thank you for watching the video. I want to tell you guys there will be a video just like this one on my half birthday. So October 3rd, 2025, when I turn 34 and a half, yes, 34 and a half, there will be a video just like this one to celebrate 16 and a half years since I started pipe and cigar smoking. So look forward to that video in 6 months. 6 months exactly. Anyway, have a nice day. Pretty fucking cool. Bye.